Hello, welcome to the McDonald Show, the cybersecurity show. So McDonald's got hacked by in a very simple way. In this video, I'm going to break that down, okay? So the incident happened in July 2025, right? Cybersecurity researchers discovered a significant vulnerability in McDonald's AI-powered job application system, McHire. So the breach exposed the personal data of approximately 64 million job applicants across several years. Now, the core cause of this was a weak password security, right? The central flaw that enabled the breach was astoundingly simple, which is a test administrative account on the McHire platform used the username and password 123456, 1234567 1234567, whatever that meme is, right? Yeah. But anyway, security researchers, Ian Carroll and Sam Curry, during a casual review, noticed a login, link intended for Paradox team members, right? That's the Paradox.ai being the vendor behind the McHire and its chatbot Olivia. So when they tried logging in using this default, extremely weak password, they were able to access the back-end dashboard and sensitive applicant data. So now, what was exposed, right? So under this basically unsecured login, the attackers, in this case, ethical hackers, were able to view chat logs between applicants and the AI chatbot, access names, email addresses, phone numbers, and home addresses of applicants, obtain details on job applicants, and even authentication tokens that could impersonate candidates, access records dating back to 2019 across roughly 64 million job applications. There were additional technical flaws, right? Beyond the password issue, there were also an insecure direct object reference, that's the EDOR vulnerability, which allowed an attacker to modify the URL parameters and extract applicant data or chat transcripts for any record in the database, vastly increasing the risk and the reach of the breach. Now, there was a lack of multi-factor authentication, that's MFA, right? Compounded, the platform's vulnerability. There were some immediate actions, right? But there were some consequences, right? In regards to the discovery timeline, researchers discovered the issue and privately reported it to Paradox.ai and McDonald's in late June 2025, a little bit after the fact, right? So the companies closed the loophole within a few hours of notification, but faced extensive public scrutiny for the basic nature of the security lapse, right? So this breach highlights dangers of weak, default credentials on platforms that store sensitive personal data, especially in large-scale hiring systems. Default or simple passwords, right? Like 123456, 1234567 34678. Am I doing it right? 34567 Yeah, whatever that meme is. So those default passwords must never be used for admin accounts, right? AI-powered or automated platforms handling personal information require the same, if not higher, standards of security as traditional IT systems. Regular security audits and implementation of mechanisms like MFA are essential. Now, what McDonald's could have done from a more contextual perspective is the stronger authentication, right? They could have enforced a stronger, unique, password for all admin accounts, eliminating default or weak credentials like the 123456, right? They could have implemented multi-factor authentication, that's the MFA, across all sensitive systems, including administrative dashboards and portals. They could have conducted regular security audits, right? Conduction of thorough periodic security audits to identify and remediate vulnerabilities such as insecure, direct object references, the EDORs, and poorly protected API endpoints, right? They could require third-party vendors like Paradox.ai to undergo and provide evidence of security reviews before deployment and at regular intervals. They could have also had something along the sense of comprehensive access control, right? They could remove or restrict test and legacy accounts that no longer are in use and monitor access logs for suspicious activities. They can use the role-based access control, that's the RBAC, to give employees only the permissions they require for their jobs, right? They could have also, implemented continuous monitoring and incident response. They could have deployed advanced, monitoring tools to detect unusual access patterns and possible intrusions in real time, to prepare a rapid incident response plan detailing steps for containment, investigation, and notification in case of a breach. They have to also, have robust vendor management, so audit and review the security practices of all technology partners handling sensitive customer or employee data, ensuring adherence to the latest cybersecurity standards. They could include cybersecurity requirements in all contracts with third-party service providers. Having the use of user and employee education, right? They can train employees and franchisees on best practices for data security, social engineering risks, and how to recognize phishing attempts, to distribute clear internal policies requiring security updates and password changes regularly, right? They could have also did system hardening and patching, right? They could have maintained up-to-date antivirus and anti-malware software on all corporate and franchise endpoints with automatic update and installation policies, right? They could regularly patch operating systems, applications, and firmware to address known vulnerabilities as soon as fixes become available. There's also the notion of privacy first design, right? So perform data minimization and privacy impact assessments for new and existing systems, especially those leveraging AI or storing personal data, right? Ensuring encrypted storage and transmission of sensitive information. It was not all when it comes to restaurants being hacked, McDonald's is not in this boat by itself. Just for your edification, there was a Golden Corral incident, right? That informed approximately 180,000 individuals that their personal information was stolen in a data breach. So the breach was identified basically in August 2023 and reported in early 2025. It was identified in August 2023 and reported in early 2025. You see how long that thing was sitting there? Basically, it involved unauthorized access to employee systems and exposed sensitive employee and beneficiary data, including names, but here's the kicker, social security numbers, financial accounts, and more. Some corporate operations were temporarily disrupted. Could you imagine, right? The next restaurant we have was the Yum Brands. Under that umbrella, you have KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. So it basically was a ransomware attack that disrupted operations, including the temporary closure of nearly 300 restaurants in the UK. So the attack exposed personal data such as names and identification numbers. Some US employees were also impacted by the breach, though the main operation disruptions were reported in the UK market. And then, one of the other ones that was hacked was Checkers and Rallies, right? It was announced the discovery of a long-running credit card data breach. So attackers exfiltrated credit card information from point-of-sale systems at about 15% of local, restaurants, right, over multiple years. So the breach was ongoing until it was finally addressed in 2025, with customers being warned that their payment data may have been compromised, right? Lastly is the United Natural Foods Inc., which is basically the major supplier for Whole Foods, right? It was a cyber attack that caused significant disruption in the food supply chain. So that basically the United Natural Foods Inc., the primary distributor for Whole Foods and many grocers, suffered a breach that impacted its ability to fulfill and distribute orders. Like, grocery stores, including those under major chains, experienced temporary shortages and delivery disruptions as systems were brought back online. Okay, so that is what I have for you today. Please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and the like button. If you like this video and you want more videos like this, please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and the like button. I appreciate you. Stay safe. See you in the next video.